Mm. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're 5 minutes ahead of time. Just waiting for more people to come up. Sorry for the confusion with the links. Not sure what happened. Google Hangouts on air. It's a little bit different. But hopefully everyone will get the right link, and we'll be starting shortly. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. Just letting a few more people come in, giving a few minutes for everyone to join in, and we'll be starting shortly. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. Just letting a few more. Once again, sorry for the problems with the link earlier. Hopefully you'll get the right link. I'm just going to give you a few more minutes for everyone who may have gotten the wrong link before to be able to join us, and we'll start very shortly. It's going to be a very quick 20 minutes, maybe half an hour of presentation that about the data that we discovered in Compass about email marketing and the tactics that we see to be working in e-commerce shops. There are clients. I'm going to start in shortly. All right, I think this is enough time for us to start. People just be coming in. They can you all can access this link afterwards. It will be saved for you on YouTube, so you can actually rewatch it afterwards. And I'm going to be sending you the PDF as well. So this presentation is about how to increase sales using email marketing. My name is Ramon. I work for Compass. My history has been as a growth hacker in various startups, starting with SaaS, and then moving to e-commerce. My latest job before joining Compass was a startup called TourRadar.com. We essentially doubled the revenues in 1 year, which is great, and one of the biggest generators of sale. It was one. I'm not exaggerating when I say it was the biggest generator of sales was email. And I'm going to share a little bit of what we did, and also, this is also backed by data from Compass, from our dashboard. And if you don't know us, we crunch data from all these different e-commerce stores, and we give recommendations, and based on your own data and also the benchmarks around you. So if you sign up to Compass, you connect your Google Analytics, you connect your Shopify account or PayPal account and Facebook account for ads and things like that, and we give you this like bespoke business intelligence dashboard. We can navigate through your store, right? And while we do that, we get a lot of data, and we have some great data scientists who then can actually make sense of those data and give us a few trends. And this is about some of these trends that we can generate insights that we write in our blog posts, and we give recommendations in the product. And we're also using now, this is the second webinar we're doing around this kind of idea. So I hope you like it. Let's start. So according to our numbers, email is the best performing channel. This is an average conversion rate, right? So some other companies may have a better conversion rate. Some other companies may have a worse conversion rate. But on average, email always trumps Google AdWords and Facebook ads. What I mean by that is when someone clicked on an email, came to a store, they are at least double more likely to buy in that visit than on Facebook ads. And also substantially more likely to do that if they're coming from an ad that they saw on Google, right? So, I mean, you have organic traffic as well, which is very good depending on the company, but on average, email is a great performing channel. It works very well, and it's fairly inexpensive. So in comparison to the gains that you can get, it's very easy to set up. We all get email. This is the beauty of it. And we receive emails on a daily basis. Look, we all instinctively kind of know what works well and what doesn't. So it's a great tool to work in. If you're not using it, and we really recommend you to do it. It gives a lot of conversions over it, and it can actually be used to even supply the other performing channels. So if you're using Google AdWords, you can use email as well to help those people coming from Google AdWords to shop from you. And this is what we're going to talk about a little bit. So yeah, so email is a silver bullet for many issues. I picked 3, which is the 3 main kind of problems or challenges or things that you have to do as a e-commerce manager, right? You have to drive profitability, you have to reduce cost per acquisition, and you have to drive revenue growth, right? And email can help with all those 3 different problems or different challenges that you have in the store, right? And I'm going to show a little bit how we can do and how can we work with each of those things. We're starting then with driving profitability, right? So the main thing with profitability, and now that's what we're going to start with the second point, which is reducing CAC, reducing cost per acquisition. And the way you reduce cost per acquisition, and by cost per acquisition I mean you spend, let's say we'll be spending, for each 10 visits that come from AdWords, you convert 1, and each click in Google AdWords is $1, so you're paying $10 per conversion, right? So that's the cost per acquisition. And conversion rate is directly linked to that, because let's say if instead of 10 visits to make a sale, you only need on average 5, that means you only spend $5 to make a sale, right? And conversion rates, they're really good for calculating. Let's say we can usually get to calculate, someone came straight from Google AdWords, who can look in Google Analytics, it has all these campaigns laid out, and you can see, people came from Analytics and they did a sale or not. Usually that conversion is not very high. I mean, on average, like we saw, it's 1.3, 1.4%. Then, so what happens to the other 98% of the people who come in? So obviously, we can't really assure that we can capture everyone, but the idea is that, okay, you're going to have some people who are ready to buy right now. And these guys are going to click on your ad, they're going to click on the product, they're going to read a little bit about it, and they're going to make the purchase, right? But there's some other people who are just like, they click on the ad, but they're really never going to buy it. They're not interested in your product. They're curious, maybe they click by mistake. So there's a lot of people that do that, or they're just browsing. They're not going to buy it from you, at least not right now. And then you have this other type of people who are in the market to buy this, but they're not really sure. They're still kind of browsing, but they kind of like what they saw. They're not going to buy now. They're going to buy later. So for those, what we do is we use micro-conversions. So micro-conversions is basically what we call splitting the ask. Instead of, I like to use this kind of idea that, you don't go out on a date. I mean, at least most normal people, you don't go out to anybody on the street and say, hey, do you want to go to bed with me right now? Usually what you do is you ask for a coffee first or a drink first. So that's essentially the idea with micro-conversions. You split the ask. You first ask for something smaller, something that's not so binding. And then you gain the trust of that person. And then by the end of the day, after a few emails or a few dates, if you're talking about dates, you're going to be able to convert them. So that's the trick between micro-conversions and the conversion. A conversion is a sale, and some people are going to go straight to a sale, but some people are not ready to do that yet. Maybe they haven't heard of you. Maybe not. Some people are just desperate for it. I've seen that if someone is really desperate for your solution, it doesn't matter if your site is buggy or if something's not working, they're going to go and make the purchase right away. But some people need a little bit more convincing. So what you do is you get their email address with something like what we see here. This is a banner from Booking.com. I think it's very compelling, So if I'm not traveling right now, if I don't need maybe a hotel exactly at this moment, I'm not in a rush to get this hotel. I can actually maybe, instead of like making a booking now, and this visit won't get lost. So what a lot of customers will do is, okay, I'll sign up to get maybe 50% off of my next trip. Maybe this next trip is not now, it's a little bit later. So you're going to be able to get these people's email address, and you don't lose them completely, right? So, and then what you do, you use drip campaigns, which are a series of timely emails that you send after they sign up, which can be a few newsletters, it can be anything. You can tell a story about your product. You can write a series of emails, each one, trying to convince them of a different point that it's better for your product. You can tell them a story. You can simply send content. Can be very creative with the drip campaigns, right? But the idea is that you get their email instead of them bouncing and leaving. Another way of doing a micro conversion, which is very popular, and you probably see in a lot of e-commerce sites, is a pop-up with a 20% off voucher. So someone comes to your site, so Stylispic, they do this. They're pretty big, so I'm sure they've been testing this a lot. And what's great is that the pop-up is really nice looking, and it's giving you 20% off on their first offer. And then the first time you come to their site, they already showed this pop-up. What they're seeing here is that they're not even giving you a chance to actually buy first. They're giving you the discount straight away because they want to get your email address. And once they got your email address, they're going to send you an email with that promo code. And then you can use that promo code to make a purchase later on. If you haven't done a purchase, they're probably going to send a newsletter, or they're going to send something about the next collection, or whatever they think you might want. So this idea that you get an email first, and then you start sending some other content. And this needs to be valuable content. This is what's important about email, right? And this is where the creativity and your product can really shine in those emails. Like I said, I used to work for a company called ToolRadar, and a micro conversion that we did, which is, just to say that you can be very creative with it. People in tourism, they like brochures. People that go on tours, usually they are used to going to this tour guide or this travel agency around the corner, and they'll ask for a brochure about the shop, about the tour. So what we did was produce this PDF brochures, which is essentially the same thing. And what you can see, you can get here people to click on this button called download brochure. And once they did, they have to sign up, and they put their email address. They get the brochure. And after the brochure, we send a couple more information about the brochure, about the trip. And after a few emails, we also send a promo code. So this is a good idea of being more creative about getting an email address, right? These micro conversions don't have to be essentially only newsletters or only pop-ups. Depending on your industry, you can come up with all sorts of new ideas to get these micro conversions. And then you go to the drip campaigns, which is a series of emails that you can do. The best tool, I think, that I've used is MailChimp. You can really do what's called automation in their system, where you can actually do a series of emails. It's pretty good. Works very well. Very simple to implement. If you don't have a lot of emails in your database, which might be the case, it's virtually inexpensive. It's not so expensive to do. So the types of drip campaigns are top of mind, educational. So this is more in the sense that what we do in Compass, instead of when you sign up to our blog, we send content about e-commerce, about marketing, about metrics. So it's more educational, right? The idea is not to push you to buy from us. The idea is for you to learn more about marketing and learn more about the industry, learn more about basically analytics. And once you've done that, you're gonna be more ready to sign up to us. So educational is more or less it's a little bit lighter, right? People don't go straight for the sale. The promotional ones are really up for sale. So Stylispic, when they send you a discount, a voucher discount, they're going for a promotion, right? And they're probably going to send, after that discount, they're going to send products, right? This is very focused on products. And you can do that because if someone signed up to a banner that said, save up to 50%, get a discount for 10%, this person is already over the line. They signed up to get discounts. They're signing up to get products, promotions. So you can go ahead and do that. It's not so annoying, right? So this is the important thing about email marketing. It can be annoying to people, right? You have to be somehow valuable. And then you get training. Let's say your product is a little bit difficult to use. you can get people to sign up to a newsletter to learn how to use these products, or maybe to learn how to do themselves. It's a little bit like education, but you can do it after the sale as well. So that will help. Let's say if you bought something, you bought a product, they bought a product from you, your product is a little bit difficult to use, and you want them to do a review, you want them to refer you to other customers like them. A training series of emails can help them get the most of your product and then be happier about it, and then tell other people or leave you a review on your site. And the other drip campaign is re-engagement. This is really important. I think everyone should do this, but which is basically once the time has passed that person hasn't come back to your shop to buy more, right? And this depends on your seasonality, right? So at TourRadar, for instance, people don't buy more than one tour per year, right? If that much. You know, people do those big travels where they go to Europe, they go to Australia, go to Africa once a year. You know, so we would send an email a year later asking, "Hey, this is pretty much about the time that you're traveling last year. Are you looking to travel again? Here's a few options." But if your store sells something that is more repetitive, something that people maybe buy once a month, you can send an email maybe 3 months down the line saying, "Hey, it's been 3 months since you've been here. We've been missing you. Here's a promo code so you can buy from us again." So re-engagement is trying to get that customer back, because getting that customer in your shop is already a very hard job. So you want to do a re-engagement. You want to try not to lose them, right? So after a few months, a few weeks, depending on your product, you send another emails getting them to basically re-engage with your shop. Another way of using email is to drive revenue growth, reduce CAC, and with referrals, right? So referrals is a great way of doing this. So at TourRadar, we used to have this contest where you sign up to get a free tour. And we get a tour from one of our suppliers, and people will sign up and they will invite other people. So this is the same thing that Harry's did when they were launching their shop, and then it went really well and really viral, because basically what you're getting is you're getting the email and you're getting people to invite their friends. So not only you get an email and a reason for them to sign up to your store, but you're also getting them to invite other people. So it has even a viral effect. So contests can be very good to getting email addresses. I like the idea of using contests for something that's very specific to your store, right? So in TourRadar, it worked so well because we were giving away tours if people signed up. So that's very related. These are people that want to go on tour, so they're more likely to buy from you later on, right? Some people do giveaways of iPads if they're selling food, and that's not, this is just can be anybody who just wants an iPad. It doesn't make any difference. So people who signed up to Harry's and get a year's, I think what they're doing here is you get a year's worth of product, 1 year worth of free blades. So obviously you're going to get men who need blades, correct? So so the link below is actually a link that people have, people in Harry's have written, which is like a step-by-step link to get to be able to do this by yourself. Right? There's a few companies that do this. Referral Candy do this very well as well. So you can actually have a banner in a shop or a page on a site that people can sign up to get a $10 coupon. So this is essentially the same idea that you had beforehand, where you're giving someone a discount for them to sign up. But this one, they not only will get a discount, but they can refer a friend, which is even better for you, right? This is another company that does this, called FriendBuy. You can install this little widget here that has email, Facebook, Twitter, and you give away something if they spread the word, right? So email, again, is used to get people not only to input their email addresses for you to have them, and you do a drip campaign afterwards, but you can get people to actually invite other people, which is great. Another way of using email is to drive profitability, right, or lifetime value. So profitability means that, let's say someone came to your store and did one one purchase, right? It can be a large purchase like this one, this Canon that I was seeing that was like £1,000 worth of, or 600 and 700 pounds. It can be a large one, but very often the average order value is not so big. It can be a product that's £20 or $20, $30 or something like that, right? So if you make a lot of effort to drive this person to your store and then they make one purchase and never come back to your store again, that doesn't, the lifetime value, means the value that this customer has to you is very low. So you want to increase the chances that they will keep on buying from you on a regular basis, right? And a great way of doing this, I think, still, even though a lot of people say they don't like newsletters, but newsletters sell. I've been in many situations, in many e-commerce sites where, very few people still, you may see that not a lot of people actually click on those newsletters, but if you stop sending newsletters, people stop buying from you. So it's a great way of getting repeat purchases, right? People to keep buying from you over and over again. So what you can do is you can do the same thing as Booking.com did in the first slide, just offer something in request and say, we're going to send you newsletters with very great deals every week. Or if your website requires a sign up, you can actually do what these guys did here, which is you include the little tick up to newsletter too. This is better than just sending people's newsletters even though they haven't signed up for it. Usually people get a little bit annoyed for getting unsolicited emails. But if they actually signed up to get a newsletter, go ahead and do it, right? You can do it manually. You can do a curation of your products, which is great. What Amazon does is that they have a system that compiles them and sends basically something that's related to what I was looking at. So this is the case, for instance, with the digital cameras. I was looking for digital cameras, and it sent me a bunch of deals for digital cameras, which is great. People are going to be more likely to click on those. Finally, how to measure. If you guys know about UTM codes are just a great way of getting people to link. You absorb that information and you can see it in your dashboard in Google Analytics. You can see all your campaigns here. So people click on the email. The second one is a weekly newsletter, for instance, that had 1,900 visits from this shop. And then you can actually track how people are doing, right? How people are actually clicking on these things, how people are clicking on your newsletters, if they're buying from your newsletters, so you can improve it, right? Compass, we actually have an acquisition channel report. That really gives you an idea of all your channels, right? So people that come directly. So direct means people just typed in your URL. Organic means people came from Google, from searching, or Bing. Email is what we're talking about. Any type of email. This is email-based traffic, and we will tell you what kind of revenue you're making from it, what percentage of revenue. So these guys, for instance, they are very good at search. So people search for their products a lot. So 50% of those sales come from search. 25%, which is a pretty big deal, comes from email. Referral means people link on. They have been featured in maybe a story, a PR story, something like that. So people click on those links and come to the site. And then social, it's any links about them on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, SlideShare, all the social networks. So here you can say that these guys have almost no social presence. They have pretty good links. 15% coming of the revenue coming from referral is great, I think. Email, again, 25%. This is a huge chunk of revenue, right? TuRadar, we had even more than that. Organic, they're pretty good at organic, these guys. And then direct. Direct usually means that people know your URL, right? So usually companies will have a big brand, a very strong brand in their niche. They'll have a lot of direct traffic because this is people who know you, right? They already going to go in and type in yourshop.com and it comes straight to you. If you have any questions, you can comment here on the YouTube link. If not, you can also follow Compass on Twitter at Startup Compass. You can send me an email about it. My email is ramon@compass.co. If you have any questions about anything that we just said, feel free to ask here or by email. If not, I hope you liked the presentation. We're going to be launching, I think next week, most likely, a whole article about email marketing where we're going to go into detail about all these things. So you can actually, now that you know more about it, you're going to be able to see, I'm going to send it to you all you guys, the article itself with the report about how to actually increase sales with your email. All right, okay. No questions so far. Maybe that's good. Like I said, this was supposed to be a very short one. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Hopefully you had some ideas. Again, please feel free to write me on ramon@compass.co if you want more information about email or about Compass. If you like a presentation about Compass itself, or if you have any doubts about a campaign, if you want to send an email campaign that you've done to us to see, well, if you've seen something like that in before, we can give them some ideas. We see campaigns all the time. Anything you guys, feel like you're want to share, go ahead and write. Cool. Well, thanks very much again, and hope to see you soon in the next webinar. Bye-bye.